The truth about Helen of Troy. History remembers her as a face that launched 1,000 ships, but the truth about Helen of Troy is far more human and far more dangerous than the myth allows. They say she was stolen. They say she betrayed her husband. They say she caused a war. But the truth begins long before the ship sailed. Helen was born into a world that never asked who she wanted to be. From the moment her beauty was noticed, it became a currency, something traded between men, kingdoms, and gods. Kings competed for her hand not out of love but power. When she was finally married to Menelaus of Sparta, it was not romance that sealed the union but an oath sworn by other men to protect his claim. Helen was never free. She was insured. When Paris of Troy arrived in Sparta, history would later paint him as a reckless prince and her as a willing accomplice. But Paris did not arrive alone. He came carrying a promise made by a goddess. Aphrodite had whispered to him that Helen was his reward, payment for choosing her in a divine contest. A woman promised like treasure. What the poets never linger on is this: Helen knew. She knew she had been chosen again, this time not by kings but by gods. And gods do not ask permission. When Paris spoke to her, he did not seduce her with flattery. He spoke with certainty. He told her Troy was her destiny, that the gods themselves had arranged it. That resistance was meaningless. Imagine the weight of that truth. If she went, she would be blamed. If she stayed, she would still be owned. Helen did not run away for love. She walked into exile to reclaim the only choice left to her. Troy was not freedom, but it was different. Within its walls, Helen was no longer a prize passed between oaths. She became a witness. She listened. She learned. She saw the machinery of power from the inside. And slowly something changed. The war did not come because of passion. It came because men could not accept a broken contract. When the Greek ships arrived on Trojan shores, they did not demand Helen's return. They demanded order restored, ownership reaffirmed, a message sent to every kingdom. No oath could be challenged. No woman could step outside the role assigned to her. Inside Troy, Helen watched the war unfold and understood the cruel truth. Her name was simply the excuse. Each fallen soldier, each burning field, each shattered family was blamed on her beauty, while the ambitions of kings remained untouched. It was easier to call her a temptress than admit the war was always inevitable. Even the poets betrayed her. In the Iliad, Helen is given moments of regret but never agency. She mourns, she weeps, she blames herself because history prefers women who apologize for male violence. But what if she did not? Some ancient whispers tell a different story. They say Helen warned the Trojans, that she recognized the Greek warriors hidden inside the wooden horse, that she circled it, calling out the names of their wives, testing their discipline, trying one last time to stop the bloodshed. And when Troy fell, she survived. Not because Menelaus spared her for love, but because killing her would have meant admitting the war had been meaningless. So Helen returned to Sparta wearing the same face but no longer the same woman. She lived on not as a queen of romance but as a living reminder of a truth no one wanted to face. That wars are not started by beauty. They are justified by it. Helen of Troy was not the cause of the war. She was its mirror, and history shattered that mirror rather than look at itself. Because the most dangerous truth of all is this: if Helen had never existed, they would have found another reason